Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey Angel, how you doing? Hey Ayakame, good morning. Jan B, hope you're all well. Hey Ted, glad to see you join us. Hope you're well. How are you doing? Just want to do a quick sound check. You guys hear me all right? See me okay? Everything seems to be working reasonably well. Where are you from, Ted? Whereabouts are you located? If you are joining us for the first time, or if you're here for the first time, do drop a message. Say hi. Let me know where you're joining us from. All right. And for all the regulars, welcome back. Thank you for joining me on this daily market analysis. The link is there for the Discord channel. So if you haven't already, do make sure you join the Discord channel. Hey Frug. Hey Pips Apprentice. Ted's normally watch from Australia, in Europe now. Having a holiday? I hope you're having a good holiday if you're in Europe. Okay, yeah, so again, if you haven't already, do join us on Discord as well. That's where we can take more discussions. And also, if you can help me out massively, do click on that like and subscribe button on YouTube, that little rocket ship button on TradingView, and also that hand clappy thing on trading.live. And for anywhere else that we're streaming, do click on something. Let's get more people onto the stream. Hey, Christina. Hey, Spiros. Hey, Mizio Del Rose in London. Oh, I didn't know you're in London, so good to see you in London. Ted normally watches on TradingView. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Okay, so let's get started. A quick disclaimer: any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. The contents of this webinar is not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product, and please remember that your objectives, financial situation, and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. Okay, with that. Good morning, matey. How you doing? Hey, D-Train. Good to see you. Casey is in South Africa. Good to have you with us. So, what has happened? What has happened since the last time we spoke? As I was preparing for this session, I was going to say not much, right? We were just talking about this in the office. On Tuesday, dollar index was at 105.50. It went up briefly, came back down to 105.50, went up briefly again, and then now pretty much sitting along that 105.50 level. So not much has changed since the last time we spoke. Yesterday it did look like it was going to break. I was getting a little bit excited that it was, as the price was pushing to the upside, but very quickly through the night it came retracing back, now sitting in a even tighter consolidation. All right, even tighter consolidation here on the dollar index. So not much has happened, but we can see that just the last hour the US yen has dropped slightly, and everything else is pretty much in that single digit, apart from the Aussie and the Kiwi, but everything else in that single digit volatility range over the last 6 hours. So like I was saying yesterday, not super exciting at this point in time, but as the longer it sits in, the longer price sits in a consolidation, in a tight consolidation as well, the more explosive the next move is likely to be, right? So as much as it sits in a consolidation, as much as there might not be a lot to do right now, it's really preparing and that's why we still do this session despite markets not moving too much. It's really preparing for the potential move, looking for the levels that it might break or it might um, retrace to, and looking for that potential setup that could, you know, as a citizen consolidation, that could lead to a bigger move. So, in terms of news, what has happened since we spoke? Governor Bailey spoke at 5:30 p.m. GMT plus 8 yesterday. All right, nothing much. We didn't see too much on the pound. Dollar openers beats, fragmentation. Didn't say too much there. Um, Retail sales number on the euro was a little bit lower than expected at minus 0.3%. But again, didn't do too much to prices. Fed Chair Powell spoke at 10:15 p.m. GMT plus 8, urges Fed economists to be more flexible in forecast methods. Didn't do too much. Opening remarks, right? Does not comment on outlook for Fed policy or economy. Straight away, no comments. Held everything. It was pretty standard, okay, and that's possibly why we saw that retrace during his speech period, because maybe at some level markets were expecting him to make some comments and possibly push it to the upside, push the dollar index to the upside. Did not happen. Disappointed markets a little bit, pushed down and sits in that consolidation right now. Then on to today. Right, on to today, we did see very early this morning, 9:30 a.m., the Chinese CPI year on year was 0, expected minus 0.1, came out at a minus 0.2, but didn't affect. So if we look at the Aussie dollar at 9, zoom in a little bit. Where were we? There at 9, right? Didn't do too much to the Aussie dollar either. Why I look at the Aussie dollar when we talk about the Chinese CPI number, it's really because Aussie dollar, I don't trade the Chinese yuan, but the Aussie dollar is one of the closest trading partner to China despite many differences. So they do tend to have some impact on the Aussie dollar, but in this case, not much. Then for the rest of the day, we do have MPC member Pill speaking. I don't bother about that. Economic bulletin from the ECB, economic financial meetings from the ECB, unemployment claims. It's a Thursday, so it's a weekly number for the US. 217, 218, not a big change expected here. All the way through to tomorrow, early tomorrow morning, 3 a.m., Fed Chair Powell speaking at the monetary challenges in a global economy might have some, because it's a panel discussion, might have some comments about policy, monetary policy. So might bring some volatility, but I'm not holding my breath for that. 1:30 a.m. President Lagarde speaking at inauguration of the House of the Euro. Don't think she's going to go to the House of the Euro and start saying that they're going to increase rates or do anything crazy at that point. Okay, so let me just do that. Sound seems to be dropping. I don't know why this happens. Okay, let's hope that's a little bit better or a lot better. Nope. Give me a second. Let me figure something out. One second. Let me just try and figure this sound out. Okay, let's hope that's going to be better for you guys. Jambi, let me know if that works better. Okay. Loud enough, or should I make it even a little bit louder again? Let's try that. I set it already. It was working so nicely yesterday. seems to have dropped back down to the level seems to have dropped. I have no idea why. Okay. Thank you, Jambi. Thank you, David. Thanks, Buba. Thanks, Pips Apprentice. Okay, so now coming back to this, not expecting big changes here. Monetary policy statement at 8:30 p.m. for the RBA. Again, not too. They did raise rates, so maybe something to look at, but that was relatively straightforward. It might actually bring about a little bit more of a downside for the Aussie. And then GDP for the UK. A lot of you in the UK, so let me know what you think about the GDP. But it looks like month to month it's going from a 0.2 to a 0%. So a bit of a slowdown there in the UK. Again, maybe bringing some downside to the pound dollar. But we'll go into more of that tomorrow at 3 p.m. as we are going through our daily analysis. Okay, so it doesn't sound like we're going to see more fireworks um, coming forward, right? It doesn't seem like today is going to be a day for fireworks. It looks like it's going to be a bit more consolidation. I'm just trying to figure out why or what are they consolidating for. It could be US CPI next week. It could be the UK CPI next week as well. All the way through, yeah, it might be some CPI numbers for next week. And it might even be as we head towards the end of the year as well, right? With more central banks holding cut rates, having a wait and see approach, with not many releases of data, and a bit of more uncertainty in terms of global policy or global conflicts, that might be leading to that reason for that consolidation. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Then looking at the charts here, dollar index today is the 9th of November. It is consolidating just along that 105.50 level. All right, so that's one thing to note. It's consolidating at 105.50. Now the question is, are we priming for a break or to the upside or a break to the downside? Let me take those away for now. That level is still holding, but let me take that away for now. Okay, and I'm just looking at this. I don't need this actually. And let me just check this level here. We might have it sitting just at that 38.2 level. That's why we have this lying there. Okay, I'm just gonna move that there. So that's my range. Don't think we need this. We'll keep that there for that 38.2 on a longer time frame. I think we take that gap away. Let me just check 50 on this. All right, so it's not at 50. 61.8 is there. Okay. So it's still sitting in this consolidation along 105.50. Good morning, Diana. How are you doing? I'm looking at the news. I don't see anything that would push it much in either direction. I would like to see it continue to the upside, but it's really right at this point right now. Okay, so if we had this doing that, I see that pushing up. So I see 38.2 holding. pushing back up past 105.80, we could see more upside again. Okay, still looking for that. So consolidating, dollar index is consolidating at 105.50, break. It's really either direction, but I would anticipate more to the upside. Okay, so it needs to once it's either going to we're thinking that it needs to break 105.80 to see 106.25, or we're looking for it to break 105.50, 105.40 to get to see 105, 105, I think. No, I would actually see it down there. Okay. It break down. So it's either going to do, sit around, most likely going to sit around there, but we want it to break above 105.80 to see 105, 106.25. Or if it breaks down from this level, then we're likely to see, can't draw a straight line. That level there, which is 105.15. Right? I don't see any big moves here on the dollar at this point. But more likely this scenario. Okay, so I don't think we'll see that. We'll wait for that to push up, consolidate and push up. Let me just check the bigger time frame, slightly bigger time frame. The bigger time frame actually shows me that we might see a bit more downside. Right? It shows me that we might see a bit more downside on a daily. I don't normally look at a daily, but I know many of you do like to pay attention to that. Looks like that's going to hold and push down, especially with yesterday's, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday's pin bar at that level. So back to the H4 in a tight consolidation. If we look at the RSI, it's just sitting right in the middle as well. Okay, so I feel that it's going to consolidate there. I feel that it's going to sit under between these levels to consolidate with no clear moves. Where is my box? Come back here. I'm very undecided on the dollar index at this point, as you guys probably sense. I actually think that instead of seeing the upside, I don't see any reason why it's going to push up. I think it's going to sit there, consolidate, and if it fails to break, okay, so consolidating at this, if it fails to break above 105.80, then we're going to see the DXY retest 105.10. I'll think that's a likely scenario. So what I mean by that is it might break out, right? It might break out to the upside. It's sitting in consolidation. If it fails to break above 105.80, we're going to see it come back down to 105.10, like that, which is this previous level here. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Actually, with this, it looks like we're looking at some weakness on the dollar to come around. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me know. So with that, then that dollar weakness to come around, looking at the Kiwi, I was so excited about this. I thought, we were planning this move, and it looked like it was moving exactly. It went down, it's bounced back up. We thought it was going to go back down. It came down slightly, right? It came down a good 20 pips, almost 20 pips, and then bounced right back up. Thank you, Mizio Delaros. Right, so that did not play out as planned. Right now, it is sitting along that same support slash resistance level. Okay, and if we look at that, I'm happy with. I would actually consider move this and put that as the resistance. Okay, and that's that previous high, well, from yesterday, and then we have that 38.2 there from that move. Even if you caught this slightly lower, it's right at 38.2. So now with this and anticipating a breakout, we're going to do two scenarios, right? Anticipating a breakout to the downside for the dollar index. This is going to push up. Might be a smallish move here. Breaking above that resistance 15950. Take profit 50 pips. Stop loss can be very tight here, no more than 20 pips. Right, so it would essentially look like a continuation of that uptrend where it found the support, just needs to break above that resistance for the continued upside. Then beyond that, we might see further upside again, but let's just focus on that near term resistance level for now. There we go. Okay, so that's what. Thank you, Salman. Arshad, thanks for that. So now, which is a round number of 0.6. Okay, so looking at that dollar weakness, we put there, so DXY weakness. Okay, so we're looking for this to buy 0.5950, stop loss 50, oh no, stop loss 20, take profit 50 to the upside. That's what we can anticipate or we're looking out for on some dollar weakness, Kiwi to push up. It's retracing now for no reason, although the dollar index is doing that. Looks like it might do that. Okay, we've been sitting around, we've been doing a lot of setups, it hasn't triggered a lot of trades, so we just have to be super patient on this. Aussie dollar, I was so keen on this. I actually did go down on this trade, made a little bit, I scalped it a little bit before I bounced back up. Right, nothing to shout about there because of the head and shoulder pattern. It came down to that 50% level. Move that right there. You see, it came right down to 50, failed to break 50 and bounced back up. Despite a head and shoulder and a break of that neckline. Okay, so now on the, let's take that one away. On the Aussie, that one's done. We can take that one away as well. The head and shoulder is there, but it's not valid anymore. Nope, it's not valid anymore. We take all of that away. That 50% level is still there. It's quite a distance away from the resistance, but bear in mind that tomorrow morning we are looking at an RBA policy statement, monetary policy statement. So I'm anticipating that it's going to sit within this range for a while, might push up. So it might push up, but I'm looking for that continuation back down. Looking for this to push down is not because I'm anticipating dollar strength. It's more like I'm looking for it to push down because I'm anticipating Aussie weakness. Okay, so this might be a tomorrow thing. This might be a tomorrow thing where we're looking at 6430 stop loss, no more than 20 pips. Take profit, you have 30. I think if it does this, you can try 61 as well with 60 pips to the downside. Because it has tested 50, so I think that if it retraces and then pushes back down, we might see momentum coil and recoil and break through that. So yeah, like Spiros was saying, maybe make a retest. So it might retest this and then come back down because of Aussie weakness. All right. Hey Jamil, how you doing? So 6430 to 60, that's reasonable. We'll look for that. Sell 6430 20 to 60 on the RBA monetary policy statement that could bring some weakness to the Aussie dollar, right? Despite anticipating that dollar weakness. So dollar weakness pushed this up and then after that push it back down again tomorrow morning. Okay, that's what I'll be looking out for. Let me just think some more. You would see that perhaps we do have a bit of a trend line as well, right? You do have that trend line on the Aussie, the upward trend line on the Aussie. So that would actually work quite well, right? That would actually work quite well where it retraces up, comes back down. Okay, so it comes back down, breaks, triggers, breaks a trend line, and we'll see further downside. Okay, I'm happy with that. Jamil said yesterday entered sell Aussie but still my trade and losing. Where did you get in at, Jamil? Where did you get in at? I got out just in I think about 10 or 15 pips on the Aussie. I really wanted to try and get into something, but didn't work out super. I thought it was going to break all the way and it didn't do that. It bounced off that 50. So now I'm looking at that. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. As happy as I can be, all right? If we see a lot of weakness on the dollar index, then we might see that push up. But I think tomorrow's news might bring the Aussie back down a little bit more. Then onto the US yen, right? Same thing, right? Pushed up. We're expecting it to push up, test, and rocket back up. It didn't do that. It went up a little bit. It came down to test, went up a little bit more, and it's sitting right in that consolidation. Right? It's right. You can see if I did a horizontal box, you'd see that it's just doing that. It's just sitting in that area. Okay, and that's broken 61.8. So we'll take that one away. That trend line is still there, so that's okay. Now let me see if we take this point up, right across, right to the side. It needs to break 23.6 to come down. It's in consolidation. That channel, let's see how that channel works out for us. Yeah, that channel doesn't work anymore, so we can take that one away. That area there, oops, that area there, 23.6 is right here. It's in consolidation right across. Dollar index is just sitting. See, the thing here is that if I zoom in, you see dollar index is not even moving at all or that much, but yet we're seeing the yen push up, come back down, still sitting that consolidation. So, and this is a round number of 151, right? Just below 151. A, a thought I'm having is that if it breaks down out of this area, because you can't deny the thought that no matter what, it's still above 150, is at 151. The BOJ might have some play in this to try and bring it down. So 150.50, stop loss 20 pips, take profit down to this level at almost 60 pips to that 61.8 level. And in fact, you see that it tested, bounced, and then headed lower. We could see that happen again. See it come down to this support and bounce. Okay, so if this stays below, it's right now below 151. We're looking at dollar weakness holding it. We're looking to sell 150.50, stop loss 20, take profit 60 to the downside. Pushing it lower. If it sits in this consolidation, now the question is, if it sits in this consolidation, could it push up? If it breaks to the upside, I wouldn't be looking to buy it up. Okay, because you saw a big strong reaction here at 151 almost 151.70, and if you're looking to buy this up, giving it a little bit of a breathing space, 151.20, you'd have a 40 pip take, you'd have a 40 pip stop, or even a 20. It's just at this level becomes very touchy, right? So I wouldn't be, if it breaks up, I wouldn't be too keen. I'll be looking to see what happens at this point. Maybe what you could be looking out for if it breaks to the upside is for that reversal back down at resistance. But because we're anticipating that dollar weakness, so we're looking for it to break out this consolidation below 23.6 down to 61.8. That's why I have this view here on the US yen. It makes it really hard. It makes it really hard when it's sitting in this consolidation like that. Okay. Jamil got in just below 64. Oh, we got in right there. Yeah, that's just before that 50 level. I think it might bounce a little bit. So something to watch and to manage a little bit there, Jamil. That one. Yep, that's just gonna sit there, try to break down, wait for it to do that. That's fine. Then look at all that consolidation. Pound, dollar, broke down a little bit, bounced right back up. The pound dollar, tight, very tight consolidation over the last however many hours. It's only moved that much, right? Over the last however 3 a.m. since 3 a.m. 4 a.m. this morning all the way to 3 p.m. 12 hours. It's gone from 1.2278 to 1.2291. That 10 plus pips. Pound dollar consolidation means price doesn't want to move any lower. Yeah, it's sitting in that consolidation. One thing I saw here on Forex Factory just before we started, I haven't had a chance to read it just then, was where was it? Where was it? I was just looking at that. No, not here. Or where did I even see that? That's funny. How billionaire Ray Dalio discovered pee on the floor at Bridgewater. I haven't read that either. I'll read that later. Let me find it. There you go. So that's interesting headline. I haven't read that yet. Pound sterling overvalued versus US dollar could slide to 1.2040. All right, so it's currently at 1.2280. They're saying that pound dollar could get down to 1.2040, which is down here, right? Which is October, where we saw it in October. So let's put that there and say that's the HSBC forecast. Right? So they're saying that, hey, big move anticipated here on the pound dollar in a tight consolidation. Anticipating that dollar weakness, right? A bit of strength before that weakness, or just straight down weakness. Then this is going to push up a little bit, or push down and then push back up. I'm super undecided. And in this case, when it's sitting right there, you do have that opportunity here on the pound dollar, 1.2310, tight stop loss at 30 pips, take profit, a good 100 to the upside. And then also, you can be looking to sell down just because of this point from yesterday. I'll go below that, 1.2240, stop loss 20, maximum of 30 pips as well, and take profit down to that 70 level. Right? You can, in this case, you can actually be thinking that you could even go a little bit tighter on this at 1.2265, tighter stop loss 20 pips. This one you could go down to 1.23, tighter stop loss at 20 pips as well, and you have that opportunity. Just because it's right in the middle of that, sitting right on that line where it could be looking for that breakout. The problem with having the levels a little bit nearer is that you could be faked out, right? That's why I would say a little bit further away. So 2310, this one maybe just below that point, 2255. Could do that. On my top-down analysis from a monthly outlook, okay, I'm anticipating a 2,000 pip move down on the pound dollar to 1.07. Wow, that's that's very far away. That's very far away. Okay, I will take a note of that. I hope it gets there, and I hope I'm selling as it gets there. But yeah, I think we are looking at some downside on the pound dollar. I don't see why it would sustain an upside move, but I think it's a little bit early to try and guess that big move. down. Yeah. So that's what I'll be looking. Good point there, Monsieur Delarose. Um, but yeah, I tend to try and avoid looking at 1.07, which is what we saw during September last year, which was what was the prime minister's name again? I can't remember what the prime minister's name with her introduction of the tax bill, which is why we saw that big drop on the pound dollar. My memory fails me at this point, but yeah, that's why we saw that big drop. Is the sudden introduction of a tax relief or tax bill, tax policy, and so we saw the pound. So would be nice. Would be nice if it does drop all the way. I would be happy to sell it down. But at this point, I'm not sure I'll be waiting for that. Just it has a few levels it needs to break, like you're saying. Yeah, Liz Trust. You got that right. Okay. No, not Boris. It was Liz. Okay, so now looking at a pound dollar 1.2310 20 to 100. Bring that down to 100. Okay. Pound dollar, we could be looking to buy. So there's a straddle without the news, right? We could be looking to buy at 1.2310, stop loss 20, take profit at 100, or sell at 1.2255, 20 to not 100, maybe 80, 90. 1.2 or sell 1.2255, stop loss 20, take profit 90 to the downside. Okay, so we do have that opportunity, but not ready yet. You could try and set that order and let it run in case it breaks out strongly. We'll see that big move. That's fine. 38.2 break of that. You see that move. Yeah, that's fine. So we have we have both the upside and downside potential. Just needs to break out that consolidation first. Okay. Then, where are they sending you? Oh, hey, matey, we're streaming on TradingView. We're streaming on YouTube and also on Trading.live and also on Facebook. So messages are coming from all different directions. Okay. Um, so Mehdi is on, just in case everyone's wondering, Mehdi is on TradingView asking, where's the messages coming in from? Okay, so euro dollar, again, same thing like the pound dollar. Bounce back up. I think it was Mehdi, in fact, or someone else on the Discord channel saying that they bought the euro to the upside, making good trades back up. Now, also in that tight consolidation, I'll take that one away and I'll consider that as my resistance. That's my support. I'm checking the news on the euro. Inflation is clearly trending down. That's great. Does that mean the ECB is going to do an adjustment? I don't think so. But I want to consider the possibility that weakness in the dollar could lead to the euro pushing higher. With that in mind, then I'm looking at 107.25, stop loss 20 pips, take profit back up here to 40. So break, I don't think I would look for that downside. There's too many levels to look out for there. So I'll be looking for that. Let me just check this. Yeah, it needs to break above, it's at that 50% level pretty much. Break above 61.8. So I'll keep that 1.0725, 20 to 40. We're looking at buying this 1.0725, stop loss 20, take profit 40 to the upside. Okay, Jamil just said buy pound if you check 15 minutes for pattern, pound dollar on a 15-minute time frame. It does have this pattern. I know this is a pattern, not sure what is it exactly. So it's just that push up and then that horizontal like a flag. Um, but I would say that because it's in that consolidation, it really can break on either side. I'll still maintain the consideration that, you know, at this level, it could really break out to the upside or to the downside. Okay, then we've done that. Looking at the Sweezy, Sweezy has been the only one, and I don't trade this. I do the analysis on this, but I don't trade this. Yesterday and today has been actually working out quite well. It did come down a little bit, but it's sitting right there. You see that we do have this level that's holding prices there. That's a support, not a resistance. That's an interim level there. Um, Looking for this to break. Dollar weakness could see this swing lower. Let me think. Dollar weakness, trade down. Okay. Okay, we can do this. But to sell it down, because we do have that trend line and that support level that has reacted here and here, for it to swing down, I would only be looking to sell if it breaks that support, which I would say is down to this point. Stop loss no more than 20. Take profit 60 to the downside. Breaking. That's fair. Okay, so looking, sorry, I'm just thinking aloud a bit. So I might be mumbling and rambling a bit. 8955. So, okay, what I'm looking for, dollar weakness to bring the US Swiss franc lower, breaking that trend line and that support level. So we're looking at 8955, 20 pips to 60 pips to the downside. 0.8955, stop loss 20, take profit 60 to the downside. There we have it. Lingopedia. I suggest to also have a weekly analysis so that we can see a bigger picture and trade accordingly. Yes, okay, we can. I'm not doing this daily analysis. I might do a different session because it just gets a bit confusing when you do H1 and a weekly time frame. So yeah, I can do that. We'll plan a different sessions for weekly analysis. Good suggestion. Thanks for that. Do that. Okay, that one's done. US CAD did not trigger. Take that away. That's continued to push up. Now we do have that confluence between 50 and 23.6. Take 61.8 away. And that's pushing down. So it looks like we have that big move back down again. Maybe that way. Okay, because it's retraced back up. It's broken 50 actually. So let's go look at 61 right about there. Okay, so we don't need that 50 confluence. Okay, so we have that come down, test 61.8, could not survive above 61.8, does need to break below 23.6 before we see further downside, driven maybe by a dollar weakness as well. We can look for this. So what I think could happen here is that it'll sit there, right? It'll probably do that, bounce around, all that kind of stuff, but only looking to sell down if you see it break 23.6, 1.3760. Stop loss will be no more than 25 pips, just above that 23.6 level. And then you got a good 120 pips to the downside. I don't think it's going to move 120 pips. I don't see a reason why it's going to move 120 pips to the downside with no major news, with the way prices are all in that consolidation. So I think we were looking for this yesterday as well. You could even be looking for a good 60 pip move to the downside as well. I think that's reasonable. If it comes down to this point, drag the take profit lower, drag the stop loss into profit, then you can ride that trade lower. Okay, if it pushes up, there is a resistance here, and also, there's a major resistance here. I wouldn't be too concerned about this one, right? But we do have that as a bit of a hesitation area. This whole area is a hesitation. So I wouldn't be ready to buy it up, right? I would only, if it goes up, I want to see a reaction at the resistance to try and sell it back down. Alternatively, it's really to see it sit around here, break down from 23.6 to head lower, especially if the dollar index does break lower. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking out for here. Yes, it could do this. It could push up and then turn back down, but I think that I'm looking for that as an immediate level. So 1.376020, I'll go even 20 to 60. Sell 1.37, what was it again? 60. Terrible remembering my numbers. 1.3760, 20 pips to 60 pips. Very similar to the US Swiss franc. Look at that. Okay. Must say, Jen, you're the best in your calm approach to how you reach students and investors. Yeah, trading, don't make it. Don't jump around. There's no jumping around. There's no fireworks and Ferraris and Lamborghinis. It's just sitting there, screen in front of you, reading the charts, trying to figure out where prices could head towards. Nice and calm and boring sometimes. But hey, if volatility increases, if liquidity increases, it would be really fun to sit down and trade with me in the office. Sometimes I'm looking at trades, I'm rambling over and over again. It's a bit different as well. So it all depends on how the market is reacting. Okay, so now coming back to gold, it did not go up to that area when I thought it would consolidate and could see a reaction. In fact, it did head lower, right? Headed lower, and you see this. Gold headed lower, but the dollar index pushed up before coming back down again. So this push lower on the dollar index did a little bit of that on gold. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see. So this was at 4 a.m. and we saw gold had a bit of a retrace, but this was at 10. So this move, it's not really in that correlation right now, right? The dollar index and gold not really in that correlation because you can see the dollar index pushed up a little bit. It didn't push up that much through the yesterday afternoon, and what it did was last night it had that big push to the downside, right? Last night at 10, big push to the downside, but last night at 10 we saw the dollar index push to the downside as well. So it should be moving inversely, but yet it's moving at the same direction right now. So very interesting there on gold at that support level right now, or very close to that support level of 1946. 1946. Okay, so it's sitting in that point. It looks like as much as we saw a big push on gold to the upside, it might be a bit that move towards reserve might be done already. Let me see, take this right across. I like that one. Consider this whole area, so let's just put that there and take that one away. Right, so it looks like the move towards reserve might be completed, and if that's the case, then what we're looking at here on gold would be that we could see it test 38.2 on the longer time frame, right? So what needs to happen here for it to head lower towards 1933 would be for it to break 1945, continuing that downside. I don't think I'll be looking for a rebound on gold for now, right? Looking at that. So I'll look for that push, break 1946, 1945, down to 1933. Okay, here we go. Gold needs to break 1945 to drop to 1933. Yes. It looks like end of move to reserve. Okay. Does that make sense? Let me know if it makes sense to you guys, and if you can help me out, do remember to click that like and subscribe button. I think that would be reasonable towards this point. Yes. Okay, I am happy with that. Alrighty, so with that said, now look at dollar still. This whole hour, right, it looked like it was going to push lower. We saw it a little bit red. We saw it nice big green candle. It's still sitting at that point, still in that consolidation. I haven't gone into many trades, or only one scalping trade. So please don't feel like you have to rush into trades. There are days where you just don't do anything. You sit there and you watch it bounce around. That's where sitting your hands or not entering a trade can be a good strategy as well. And then, if you haven't already, the link is there. I look forward to seeing you all on the Discord channel, and we can catch up more. If you jump into, and everyone else on Discord, if you jump into any trades, do put it into the group. Let me know so that I can see what you're doing. I can help you out there, share with you my points of view, or I can even copy what you're doing and get into some trades as well. Monsieur Delaros said, might as well wait for the US and buy NVIDIA options. I'll get one of the options guy to jump onto the Discord channel and tell you more about the video options. I'm twist him and make him do that. Make sure you're on Discord, and we'll catch you all tomorrow, same time, same place. If not on Discord, then during this live stream again. Take care now. Bye bye.